Hello and welcome back to my FPL channel. I am FPLD Unit, and that is my little intro that I've just got going that I've just tried to get into my video. So hopefully I am back. As you can see, the background looks significantly different. I am back in Australia, so for everyone that did sub in the UK, thank you very much. I'm back here though, back in my home setup. As you can see, my Man United stuff's there. And look, I'm pretty happy with the way things have gone so far in Game Week 21. And there is lots to delve into, and this is the preview for Game Week 22. So without further ado, make sure you smash a like. Smash a subscribe as well if you're watching this and you've been watching me for a while and thought, hey, is this guy actually know what he's on about? Well, I can tell you that I do know what I'm on about. And this week, one of my differentials that I'm just going to talk about him. Let's just get straight into it. I'm just going to talk about Phil Foden. I'm not going to jump to the my things I want to talk about just yet. I just want to give a shout out. 4 weeks ago, I sat there and looked at the fixtures and thought, of all the City players that I really like, I just like Phil Foden. I don't know why, because earlier in the season I was way against him, but this was his moment. I had a dream. I said it live on the deadline day stream. I had a dream last week when I was in the UK that he was going to get a brace. And what happened? The man got a brace. I don't know if that's just some kind of prophecy or whatever. I also had a dream that Bruno Fernandes is going to get a brace as well. So I'm in the same dream. So I'm hoping that actually the second part comes true, because he is my captain. And at the moment, I'm on a red arrow. It's definitely going to be green though. I've got 2 players to play. Bruno Fernandes doubles up as my captain and Ahmad, and the only other player that's likely to feature in anyone's teams tonight is João Pedro in the Brighton game. I can't remember who they've got, but other than that, I don't think there's really anyone else that's going to affect my rank, and I'm only 1,000 points down at the moment. 1,000 places below. So with that being said, Phil Foden, what a man. That man has paid off. The last 4 weeks, he's just continued to increase his points. 2 against Everton, 6, 8, and then a massive 15. I don't actually know if there's a midfielder that's outscored him in the 4 weeks I bought him in after Saka got injured. Just an FYI, it was one of them bold moves. And to anyone that sat there and joined Andy's stream and listened to Andy say, sell Foden for Bruno, you're an idiot. Don't listen to that man. The man is not ranked very highly, and that is for a reason. Sorry, Andy. Hate to say it, mate. Some of your calls this season have been god-awful. So, yeah. Having said that, I don't normally beat down anyone, but I just thought it was really funny, and just, yeah, lots of people bitching about the fact that they sold Foden for Bruno. Look, Bruno might return 15 points as well and it'll be really good, but if you have them both, then you are loving life. All right, so without further ado, let's crack into the early doors for Game Week 22. So, look, there's lots of things to get through here, and the best place to start is I thought about Trent so hard after that 15-pointer. I just thought that man can't defend. And look, the last 2 weeks have shown that Liverpool are susceptible to goals. I mean, Chris the Woody Woodpecker, we'll get on to him in a little bit, but I don't actually think Trent's worth the money. If you've got him, you probably hold for the double game week in the Ipswich game, thinking that hopefully he'll get you some attacking returns there. But for me, I mean, like, I'd probably be playing Connor Bradley against Ipswich. Like, it should be a pretty easy game, you know what I'm saying? But I just don't think he's worth 7.2 mil. Like, I've got Hull as the alternative. The dude's, I think, almost up to 5 mil now. He might actually be 5 mil now. 2.2 million less. He's delivering way more points than Trent consistently. I just think that, yeah, it makes sense. As I said, if Phil Foden was on this little bit here, but I just had to give him his own segment, man. That dude, that brace, what is there not to love? Like, he massively outperformed his XG. It's brilliant. Man United assets, obviously, plus Bruno to come. So I'm excited about that, because in reality, I think that there's still going to be lots of points there. Hopefully, and it will give me a fairly decent green arrow, because I tell you what, after the Tuesday night games, I was on a massive green arrow, obviously with Phil Foden. None of my forward players have actually blanked yet. So, other than Salah. And thankfully, we'll get into that in a second. Unfortunately, though, the benching headaches continue to haunt me. Now, Woody the Woodpecker, like, I looked at the lineup and I was like, I have to play the Southampton fixture, so I have to play Ahmad and Bruno. So I don't know if they're going to return. And if they both return, then like every one of my forwards and midfielders return this week other than Salah. And there's no way you're benching Salah. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a green arrow, I would suggest, unless like Bruno gets himself sent off and doubles as my captain, which, you know, it could happen, but I'm hoping it doesn't. But it'll be a green arrow acquired, and hopefully it'll be inside the top 40,000. I mean, if Bruno goes big tonight against Southampton, I could be inside the top 30,000. So it's just one of them ones. Just got to wait and see how the game plays out. As a Man United fan, we are due a big win, so I'm just hoping that we can get one here. Again, Jackson was unlucky, and I held him. And for the people that did hold him, I'm going to show you the XG for Chris Wood and Nicholas Jackson. And I started Nicholas Jackson instead of Chris Wood. All I can say is you're super unlucky. Like, we were super unlucky that Nicholas Jackson didn't do more in that game. The captaincy call against Salah was definitely the correct call. If you went Salah, unlucky. But this was the week to take it on. I don't know what BRUNoo's going to get. I'd argue surely he's going to get 3 points, unless he gets booked. Maybe he just gets 2 and then whatever. But I mean, like, Man United, if they're going to score, BRUNoo's going to be involved, you would think. Like, more often than not, he's involved either an assist or a goal when they score this season in particular. So, you know, everyone, if you captain Haaland and Salah, unlucky. If you backed in Isaac, you are loving life. 16 points doubled to 32. Unbelievable. Lots of people went with Palmer instead. Safer option because he wasn't yellow flagged and Isaac was. And I was sitting there going, I'm quite happy if Isaac doesn't play. I've got Woods 9 points sitting on the bench. It's going to work out well for me. At the end of the day, it's fine anyway. I mean, I've got Isaac 16 points. Lots of people did captain him. Well done. Fantastic. I mean, it's hard to adjust that based on the fact we don't know what BRUNoo's going to get. So we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, it just shows that even despite the flag, backing in people that are in form is the correct way to do captaincy choice. Don't go with these stupid things. I mean, like, I was talking on stream before and like the deadline stream and like Phil Foden, I should have just backed it in. Like, but that would have been just a bold stab in the dark. Like, he's got kind of form, but like not that kind of form. So, you know, you got to back the players that are in form as far as I'm concerned at this point in time. Now, you don't want to be making transfers until after the games tonight. There could be injuries. Palace assets backed up the hype, like legit. Like Eze got an assist, Sarr got an assist. They kept the clean sheet. Munoz was pretty much not involved from an attacking sense. An interesting point here, though, in terms of the defensive data, Chalobah has been recalled by Chelsea. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing for Palace because I feel like they are much better talking to Palace supporters when he is in the team compared to when he's out. So I don't know if that means they're going to be slightly weaker there. I mean, in theory, it should make Chelsea's defence better because I really rate Chalobah. I think he'll go back there and he'll be their best defender. No word of a lie. So that might mean they keep more clean sheets. But they've got Sanchez in goal, so that's a problem in and of itself. So yeah, the team to target in terms of transfers, I think our Palace, even though they could be blanking in game week 29, I think I'm going to have to bring in one of their defenders. Like I think Colwell has to go from my team this week, and we'll look into that and potential alternatives. But in terms of the forward 8 players, I'm super happy with what I've got. Yes, Nicholas Jackson was disappointing, but they've got Wolves, and Newcastle tore Wolves apart. And I just can't see Wolves going to Chelsea and getting anything other than a smacking like they did at Newcastle. So for me, I'm definitely going to be playing Jackson this week. It's probably going to be Ahmad that drops to the bench, but yeah, we'll look at that in a second. And yeah, I've obviously rolled the transfer from game week 21, so I do have 2 free transfers this week. As I said, I'm likely to make one. Colwell probably will get the boot because of the way my team is looking. But other than that, the forward 8 players got no problems with at all, especially since Phil Foden has the Ipswich game this week as well. So without further ado, let's just have a look how the team is performing. So Fantasy Football Hub has me, well, I'm 1,580 spots lower than I was at the start of the game week. However, as you can see there, I do have the Bruno Fernandes captain and Ahmad to come against Southampton on Thursday night. Now, oh, that's right. So no one really has Ipswich players. So it's either João Pedro is going against my rank, who I don't have, and a lot of people might have just benched him anyway because of the minutes risk or whatever. So in reality, I should be shooting up. Depending on how big these boys go tonight, so I'm hoping. I mean, I went to Old Trafford for the Bournemouth game and the Newcastle game and we scored no goals. So we are due goals at Old Trafford and the fans are expecting, and we've had 2 really good performances. They really need to back it up against the cellar dwellers. Southampton are a championship team. We need to be smacking them off the park. So hopefully we do. And then that means that, you know, I should realistically be inside the top 40,000 teams after tonight's game. But we're just going to have to wait and see, really. But yeah, top 45, start of the week. At the moment, slightly down. But look, the only, as I said, I've actually got the benching defence perfect. Kirkes and Colwell both with 1 point this week. Chris Wood, as I said, unlucky. There's no way I was benching Salah. And Nicholas Jackson, 4 to 9. I mean, it's unlucky. We're going to have a look at that now. So switching over to here, and look at this. So Chris Wood's expected goals in this game, 0.16 expected goals. He scored off it. Like, what do you mean? He's just unbelievable. He's outperforming his XG so good. He's now got a shot conversion rate of over 35% for the season. Like, the dude scores more than 1 in every 3 shots he takes. It's unbelievably good. So, and he's a monster for bonus. Another 3 bonus points, like 3, 2, 3. The man is on fire the last 3 weeks. And look, they've got the Southampton fixture next. And I'm not going to lie, he could be a captaincy shout. Like, he honestly could be a captaincy shout against Southampton. Depending on how Southampton go against Manchester United tonight, he will become, realistically, a really good option. Now, Nicholas Jackson, everyone's sitting there going, how unlucky is this? 1.11 expected goals, 0.31 expected assists. Obviously got the assist from the 0.31, but I don't know how he didn't score in this game. Like, it's just frustrating as an owner having him that he didn't score. However, if you look at the next 3, like the fixtures are really good up until game week 29. So in that time, they've got Wolves at home, City away, West Ham at home, Brighton away, Villa away. Those 2 are slightly difficult. Man City away, I don't think is that bad, especially with the way they're defending. Southampton at home and Leicester at home. I mean, why would you be selling him? Like, the fixtures in front of him are amazing. Yes, he's been disappointing. Is Mateta going to outscore him over the next 8 weeks? I don't really think so. Like, personally speaking, I don't really think so. So I'm really happy with the way my team is looking. Obviously, let's talk about Anthony Robinson and Iwobi. Now, Iwobi finally scored for his teams that he's in, but they were 2 of the flukiest goals you've ever seen. I think Raul Jimenez or whoever missed both of them, and Anthony Robinson just happened to pass him the ball before both of them. The 2 luckiest assists you'll ever see in your life, but I'm loving it. I mean, that's now, Anthony Robinson now has 9 assists for the season. FYI, that's way more than Trent, and Anthony Robinson's only going to cost you 5 mil. So for me, that's brilliant. Timber again, I mean, 0.83 expected goals against, just unlucky. Like, Arsenal just continue to give up 1 goal a game. It's so frustrating to watch. But it is what it is. So, look, I mean, they've got Villa at home, Wolves away, City at home, Leicester away, West Ham at home. It's not a bad run. So I think he's likely to stay in the team. I mean, there's no real, like, he's just, if I wanted to say, I just don't know where I want to go. Like, Hall's also really good. Another clean sheet for him. So there's only 1 blank there in the last 6 weeks now for Hall, and that was against Tottenham. Slightly unlucky not to get some sort of attacking return here with 0.13 expected goal involvement. I mean, it's still quite low, but he's got Bournemouth at home next, which is a tricky fixture, but then Southampton away. I mean, like, the next few fixtures are looking pretty good. And then 28, 29, 30, 31, just Newcastle just in such good form. Like, they're into the top 4 now. There's not a lot there not to like. Phil Foden, though, like, this man, 2 goals from 0.55 expected goals. Like, unbelievably good. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne put the first one on an absolute platter for him, and then Phil Foden just did really well in the second one. But that dream came true. And the Ipswich fixture's up next. Now, I've obviously had him for the 2, the 6, the 8, the 15. So pretty good. 16, 31 points over the last 4 weeks. It's pretty good. Like, he's going at a form of about 8 points per game. Like, that's pretty damn good. Like, Anthony Gordon obviously is really good as well. Costs slightly less. But I don't have to worry about Phil Foden blanking in game week 29. So, for me, he could be one of them ones that stays. Like, if I look at the long-term fixtures, they don't look overly good. In fact, I don't really want him after next week. But if he does well against Ipswich, I'll probably keep him against Chelsea and just roll him and just see how he goes, and then making my mind up from there, give myself 1 extra week. Isaac, though, this man, yellow flagged, hamstring's perfectly fine, man. He's on an absolute tear. That's 11, 19, 30, 47, 53, 55, 62, 69, 79, 85 points in the last 8 weeks. That's just ridiculous. This form of this man, he's so good. His form is of like 11 points per game. Like, it's just unbelievable. He's so damn good. So, yeah, look, there's not much not to like. In terms of picking my team for next week, at the moment it's lining up like this. Becker, Colwill, Robinson, Hall, Palmer. Fernandes is not going to be the captain, FYI. It's probably going to be Cole Palmer, not going to lie. I mean, the Wolves fixture at home just looks pretty good. And you know what? It may well be that it's Phil Foden that gets the vice captain at this point, just the way it looks. Now, Wood is going to come in as well for Ahmad, and that's probably how my team's going to roll into the next week. Like, if I don't make a transfer now, Colwill. The thing is, like, Wolves, I think, can probably score against Chelsea, which is why I just want to get rid of him. But in reality, I mean, just Chelsea's fixtures aren't that bad. As I just talked about before, like they should, in theory, be keeping clean sheets. I mean, they just haven't been keeping clean sheets. So maybe I do go over Munoz there or something like that just for the attacking potential. But like, if in terms of like what we did miss this week, now Ollie Watkins, people that had him, he did really well. He started again. He played 90 minutes, scored off a 0.59, got 3 bonus, 9 points. Thanks for Cubban. Morgan Rogers also returned. So, I mean, David Moyes had a 1-0 loss. Everton still not offering much from an attacking sense. So they're really relying on their defence still. I mean, you don't really want him for this week. Arsenal away, really good defence. I wouldn't be going there. Luis Diaz has to be mentioned. If you had him, again, 1 point, got a yellow card, did nothing really in that game. 0.07 expected goal involvement against Nottingham Forest. He just doesn't look like a good asset. I'm surprised 20% people still hold him. And Buemo in this game, again, he should have really returned. It was unlucky he didn't. 0.67 expected goal involvement over the 90 minutes for this particular game week. Played 90 again, just unlucky. I mean, Liverpool game, you don't really want him for that game. Anthony Gordon, again, 1 bonus point. He just continues to rack up points. I mean, 9, 7, 6, 10, 6, 6, 1, 8, 5. Since game week 12, only blanked in 1 game week. Like, such a good run of form. In comparison to Phil Foden, he's got 16, 23, 32. So they're literally neck and neck, but he's obviously cost 1.6 million less. Like, obviously the Ipswich fixture next week makes a big difference for me. In terms of defenders, Alexander-Arnold continued to disappoint. I mean, he did have 0.29 expected assists here, but again, if we look at his season, 4 assists and 1 goal for the season just really isn't enough for what you're paying up for. Gabriel was unlucky in terms of that being a Dominic Solanke own goal. Unfortunately, he got yellow card and only the 1 point, so that was frustrating for his owners because at first I thought it looked like a Gabriel goal. In terms of who I want to buy next week, in reality, it's probably going to be Colwill out, and I'm probably looking at Milenkovic. Now, I talked about getting a Palace defender like a Munoz or whatever, but I'm just concerned about their clean sheet potential. But Nottingham Forest, just so good defensively. Southampton at home, Bournemouth away, Brighton at home, Fulham away. There's plenty of clean sheets in that next run of 4 fixtures. I then probably bench him for the next 3 weeks after that. But then they've got the Ipswich game in game week 29 when like everyone else is going to be blanking. See, if I bought in Munoz here instead, then I have to worry about the blank. And obviously, I want to be preparing myself for the game week 24 double. I still only have 2 Liverpool players. I don't know where I want to go. So this is why I'm holding Jackson, because in reality, it could be Cody Gakpo that comes in, or I'm holding Phil Foden, and this could become Diogo Jota. Now, Jota has been on the bench. Sorry, not Jota Silva. Don't do that. Whatever I do. Diogo Jota. He could be a player of interest. I mean, he's scored 3 times in the last 6 weeks, but he's not played at all. Like, he came on and scored literally with his first touch of the game. I mean, I really want to see him start before I even think about it. Realistically, he could start at Brentford on the weekend, potentially, but Darwin Núñez is obviously back from suspension in this game because he obviously missed the game against Nottingham Forest because he was suspended. I just don't know how much Slot trusts his body or whether he thinks he's only capable of playing 30 minutes. I mean, ideally, I'd bring him in for game week 23 if I thought he was going to start, because that's when obviously Phil Foden's fixtures run out. And that's the most logical transfer. Then gives me a bit of money, potentially upgrade Ahmad to like an Eze as well. So in this particular case, so like obviously I've still got the 1 free transfer. If I got rid of Phil Foden and bought in, I just had him up. What am I doing? Diogo Jota, and bring him in. Whoops, add him in. So that'd be my 3rd Liverpool player. They could then ditch Ahmad. And that just rules me out of like Anthony Gordon, because I was going to say that. How good would that be? I mean, I could, in theory. Now, Gordon's likely to rise in price again. That's the only problem with this particular set of transfers. Now, with this one, I could get rid of Milenkovic, and I could go another Nottingham Forest defender. I mean, Murillo's been... Murillo's just been just as good, to be fair. If we have a look at his underlying data, he's just hasn't got the same set piece or goal tacking things. But in terms of defending, he's been brilliant. Like, he's got quite a few bonus points here as well for his defender, 11 bonus points across the season. Obviously has the thing, but then I'm just ruling myself out now. If I wanted to play it super cheap, I could get Nico Williams, who has been starting all the games of late. Since game week 15, he's played 90 minutes every week. So he's a particular option as well. He obviously does have a bit more attacking potential from an assist perspective. Realistically, Aina's probably the best one, but I'm not going to go there because I can't afford it. Now, if I did want to do that, I could just add Nico Williams this week instead, or Murillo, and then I'd be able to afford Gordon and Jota after the Phil Foden game this week. So look, that's what I'm thinking. Let me know in the comments. I think those are the main targets you want to be looking for. If we have a look at previous, the only other games that I would say that Paqueta has started to get some goals for West Ham over the last couple of games. He could potentially be an option. 5.7 mil. I just don't know if he can go there. He's obviously on penalties for West Ham as well. Kudos could be an option as well, but their run of fixtures is not overly ideal. Bournemouth continue to do really well. Semenyo here, shout out to him. Lots of people benched him this week. I actually told a few people on the stream to bench him because I didn't think that he'd actually do that well. But he got a goal and he won the penalty. 6.2% ownership. I mean, the fixtures aren't really fantastic in the next 3 weeks for Bournemouth, so I wouldn't be recommending starting him the next 3 weeks. But from then on, 25 onwards, he does become a really good option. Definitely something there. Brentford, in terms of that, Wissa actually continues to return. So 1.63 expected goals. He should have scored more against Man City. Unlucky he didn't. He's a really good option. 6.2 mil. If you're looking for another forward, he's definitely somewhere you could go. In terms of the other games that we've had, obviously, Everton, as I said, disappointing. Nottingham Forest. Crystal Palace, again, Eze and Sarr both got an assist here. Again, you could save some money if you just went for Sarr. But if we have a look at Sarr's numbers for this game, 0.5 unexpected goals. Expected goal involvement. And for Eze, it was 0.29. So Sarr does continue to outperform you in terms of data. Just hasn't been doing it. Now, in the Arsenal game, there's not much to like. Odegaard finally got a return. Trossard obviously got a goal as well. Unlucky for a Solanke owner. The dude got 0 points in this game because of the own goal. That's just unlucky, really. Just not much you can do about that. Here, I just can't trust the Tottenham assets. So for me, Solanke's back off the radar in terms of that. In terms of BRUNoo Guimaraes, if you want to have a look at someone else that's gone kind of under the radar, but you're not going to bring him in, if you're going for the cheaper option, you're definitely going down to Jacob Murphy. He did blank in this game. Gordon continues to just do really good stuff. 0.71 expected goal involvement there. And Isaac, what a man. He scored twice from 0.66 expected goals and got an assist from 0.2 expected assists. Mate, if you don't have him now, you've missed the boat and you really just need to buy him and suck it up. Really, the dude's unstoppable. You just continue to miss out. On that note, I'm going to stop there. I'm just starting to ramble. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The preview this week, as I said, my team's looking really good, but that is the teams I am looking to target. The Nottingham Forest defence, I do really like it. They have been burning me most of the season. It'd be nice to have one of them. And I'm also thinking that maybe I do want a third Liverpool player, but it will most likely be an attacker just because of the fact they've been conceding the odd goal here and there. It just makes you think that it might be more worthwhile. I mean, I could, in reality, even bring in like a Mikalenko here instead before game week 24. But at the moment, that's what I'm thinking. Let me know in the comments. Make sure you drop a like, sub as well if you're new, and I will join you later on today. I'm also going to be doing the differential video for this week as well. So it's a short turnaround. Obviously, a Saturday deadline, only a couple of days before it. So I'm going to be pumping out the videos. Hopefully you enjoy it, and hopefully it's nice to see me back on the screen. The screen is obviously brighter as well because I'm no longer on my laptop and I'm on my massive PC back home. So thanks for joining. That's been the D Unit.